The item on the agenda is a residency hearing concerning an issued short-term rental registration with Michael Watanabe being the listed host. Next slide, please. So the Office of Planning issued a short-term rental registration under LIC STL 2300750 on May 23rd of 2023. The application identifies Michael Watanabe as the host. As part of the application, Mr. Watanabe provided documents supporting his residency at the address, including a copy of his Kentucky issued driver's license and vehicle registration. There is no approved conditional use permit on file for this property. So the only way the short-term rental registration can be approved is with a primary resident. The Office of Planning received a complaint about the short-term rental, alleging that the property was not Mr. Watanabe's primary residence. And then following a review of the complaints, staff determined that a residency hearing was necessary due to comments made by Mr. Watanabe after I had reached out to him to discuss the zoning enforcement complaint. Next slide, please. This is our definition of primary residency again, with the important bullet points being that it's where you spend the majority of your time, and then it's also where you would have your license and vehicle registrations and identification. Next slide, please. So during a phone conversation that took place in November, I have the exact date in the staff report, Mr. Watanabe disclosed that he and his partner do a service of dog sitting, which entails them staying at different dwellings. In a personal statement that was provided by Mr. Watanabe, he states the following: as we plan to move in full-time in early April, which is in regards to 3229 Grant Avenue. And then one of the letter of witnesses that was provided by Mr. Watanabe seemed to indicate that significant amount of time is not spent staying at Grant Avenue and is spent at other dwellings. The Airbnb listing shows the rentals as widely available and unshared with the host, of course, as the definition requires that the dwelling be where the host spends most of their time. Allowing rentals without the notable blackout periods is difficult to do. Next slide, please. So the questions that we have for the host, who I do believe is here in attendance, would be: how much time do you spend at the Grant Avenue property? Where do you stay when the dwelling is rented short-term? What is the amount of notice you're provided in advance for an upcoming stay? What is the frequency in which the dwelling will be rented short-term, and if there are any blackout periods? And then last slide, please, Rachel. And then the board can either accept or reject Mr. Watanabe's statement of primary residency at 3229 Grant Avenue. If the board determines the host residency meets section 1.2.2, the registration will remain active. If the board determines the host residency does not meet section 1.2.2, the registration can be revoked and Mr. Watanabe can reapply for a registration at a later date.
Members, any questions for Mr. Mattingly? I have a speaker card for Michael Watanabe. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give today is the truth?
I do.
Name and address, please.
Michael Watanabe at 3229 Grant Avenue, 40214.
Please proceed.
Okay, so I would like to give a little bit of a background to our living situation. It's a bit of an unusual one, so I wanted to cast light on it. I would like to appeal to the facts and circumstances listed in section 1 dash 2 dash 2. Is that the right one? I might have said it wrong. But basically, the definition of primary residence talks about facts and circumstances, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. So we dog sit for a family friend for most of the year. They come back every summer. The dates change. And so we've been doing this since 2021, ever since my wife and I got married. So the first summer, we tried to find a furnished short-term stay when they moved back into the house and we had to leave. It was super difficult to do so, especially because, we have to remain flexible with them and when they buy their flights and that sort of thing. And there aren't many options for short-term rentals in Louisville. We struggled to find a place, and the place we did find, there was like black mold everywhere, everything was broken. It was super expensive. We had to live the whole summer with all of our stuff packed in our cars because there was no room. Things like that. It was just a pain. And so afterwards, we decided that it would be a good idea to start thinking about buying our home and doing a little bit earlier so that we can be as flexible as we need to be with this family, the Stewart family. By the way, they've written one of the letters of witness that I'm sure you guys have in front of you. So we can be flexible with them. We can have a place to store all of our heirlooms and stuff. We can just have a place ready to go for us to move in when they move back to the States full time, which may be next year. So we decided to do that, and we also realized that we didn't want it to be empty. So we decided to do Airbnb. And of course, there's the added benefit of making a little bit of extra money, but, we really just didn't want the house to sit empty for 9 months out of the year. So that's what we did. So I submitted a bunch of, exhibits, proof, 2 layers of testimony, one from the Stewarts, outlining that, it's definitely not our home, it's theirs, and we take care of it. We leave all their decoration up and that sort of thing. And then one from this other girl that we house and dog sat for her during the summer. So that opportunity popped up, and we realized that, we could do that for her. So that's what we did last summer. But we do plan, we're going to move in April into 3229 Grand Avenue. And so you have 2 layers of testimony from those 2. I also submitted additional bills that we get at Grant Avenue, mortgage payments, a bunch of stuff that we've kind of moved over because we do plan on moving in. So we just wanted everything to go there. And the Exhibit C section includes a picture of our basement. It's super messy. But this is where we store the vast majority of our stuff. And kind of a U-Haul receipt showing that we moved it in a while back. And then D, Exhibit C, is kind of a mix of a letter of testimony from one of our friends that live on West Collins Street, right around the corner. And they can testify to how we've started investing in the neighborhood because we plan on making that our home. And in many ways, it is our home. And so we've been going to neighborhood meetings. We're at the house constantly. I don't have subscription to Nest. So although we do have a Nest doorbell, I can only access a certain amount of videos. So I captured videos over 2 weeks showing an estimate of how often we visit the property, which is about twice a week. There's also a bit about how my wife was there when kind of a freak accident happened and 2 bullets went through our front door earlier this year. So just kind of more evidence that we're there enough to kind of experience things like that. We've hosted graduation parties from there for one of our good friends. We've had family stay there. We're there a good amount. And I think that's everything that I provided. But just in short, this is we see this as our home. I know the pictures on Airbnb don't show a lot of personal items, but that's mostly due to me being a designer by trade. So it's pretty minimal. But we do have random tidbits from, our travels, a picture of Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is where my wife is from, which would be kind of a weird choice if this was purely a, rental for profit. So yeah, that's all of I wanted to say. Thank you.
So you spent most of your summer at the Stewarts taking care of their dogs, is that what you said?
The whole year except for the summer.
Except for the summer.
Right.
Okay. And so what percentage have you stayed primarily where you live there on Grant Line? What's the percentage?
We've only stayed there about 10 nights.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Is that
that's
since February, since you purchased the house?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
So we don't sleep there often, but we visit often.
But your plan is to move in April.
Yes, that's correct.
Members, any other questions for Mr. Watanabe? Don't believe there are any at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a speaker card for Daniela
Yes.
Watanabe. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Swear that the testimony you're about to give today is the truth.
I do.
Name and address, please.
Daniela Watanabe, 3229 Grant Ave, Louisville, Kentucky, 40214.
Please proceed.
Thank you. First of all, thanks for allowing me to speak and for allowing us to be here. It's actually really cool to see how local government works. So thank you. So yeah, as my husband alluded to, proof of one of the times that I was staying there at our home for several nights in a row was when there was a drive-by shooting, and I was laying on our couch in our living room just relaxing. 2 bullets went through the door. One of my sandals that I still wear to this day has like a part where it's warped and split from where one of the bullets lodged into the sandal. So I was staying there during that time. I have attended the last few neighborhood meetings that our councilwoman attends as well, because we just want to be involved and know what the goings on are in our neighborhood. We did not attend the last one, which was last January the 2nd, because we had tested positive for COVID, but we have been trying to be involved as much as possible. I even decorated for the Wilder Park Christmas party that they put on for the community in our community center. It was me, one of the Wilder Park Community Center, I guess, board members, and then another neighbor, just the 3 of us decorating for that event. And yeah, I'm active on the Wilder Park Facebook page. We've been around our home enough for me to be able to recognize who the neighbors' dogs are. And I was on the page recently, maybe a month or 2 ago, saw a picture of a dog that was posted there, no collar or anything, and someone on Collins Court had said, "Oh, we found this dog, we don't know whose it is, and we brought it to the Humane Society this week." I said, "Hey, that's my neighbor across the street's dog." I was able to contact them, and they were able to pick up their dog from the Humane Society. We are there very frequently. We know our neighbors. We're really invested. It's our home. That's where we plan to have our first kids and everything. It's really just this kind of weird circumstance where we're just helping out some friends. We don't receive any monetary compensation or anything for this dog/house sitting that we've been doing. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, as to the note from staff about personal effects not being visible in the house, there is some decor. There's one decor piece in the living room that actually has my name on it. It's some Korean characters, and then my name in English is on the bottom. So just some random things that you wouldn't really expect to have in just a guest-only occupied space. We have different wedding gifts in our kitchen that can't be replaced, that we just have there because it's our home and we just need somewhere to have our space, our things. And yes, I think that's all I have from my notes, but it's our first and only property that we've ever owned, and we're really proud of it and what we've done to make it a home. So thank you.
Any questions for Ms. Watanabe? Don't believe there are any at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have any other speaker cards related to this case. So I'll close the public hearing. We'll move into deliberations on the short-term rental host residency hearing at 3229 Grant Avenue.
Excuse me, can she come back up for just 1 second? I have a question.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
that's all right. Right. I'll reopen the public hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Does your license also show that this is where you,
So my license unfortunately does not. It still has where we moved into when we first got married. I have not kept up on things, so I haven't changed it over. I have been wanting to do so. I do have an envelope prepped with the filled out form and everything. I just haven't turned it in, unfortunately. And I wanted to do it before this hearing, but it was the holidays, so I wasn't able to get in there.
all right, thank you.
I have one question, sorry, one more.
Yes.
So the house that you guys do the dog sitting for, what's the address there? Where is that?
That is 2803 South Winchester Acres Road. And we don't have like any contract to be living there. We don't have, again, like any monetary compensation. It's purely just like some family friends that said, hey, can you watch our house while we're out of the country for several months? And we said, yeah. And we love their little dog. We're really attached to her. So we just said, sure.
When did you guys start doing that?
We started doing that we moved into there the day after we got married. So it was October 10th, 2021. And then we did not purchase this home until late February of 2023.
I'm just curious, where's the other house located? What part of,
It's in, the zip code is 40223.
at east, west?
It's east. It's east.
Kind of by-
It's kind of like sandwiched right in between Anchorage and Pewee Valley, but not either of those. So it still comes up as Louisville.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's
Thanks.
it. Thanks. Close the public hearing. We'll go into deliberations. Members, any discussion? Did hear from Mr. Watanabe that they plan to move into the home full-time in April. But up to this point, since purchased in February, they about 10 nights there is what I heard. Okay.
And I would think that based on the requirement for the short-term rental residency, that even with their testimony, this primary residence has not been met.
I would agree.
I have to agree. They don't reside there long enough for it to be considered their primary residence.
I think their intent to become a part of the neighborhood, attending neighborhood meetings, helping with decorating for events, is clear. But the question we have to answer is,
It's based on what our requirement is.
yes, yes. All right. If there's no discussion, I'm ready to entertain a motion.
Trying to give somebody else a chance. Madam Chair, regarding LIC STL 2300750 for the short-term rental host residency hearing for the property at 3229 Grand Avenue. I move that the Board of Zoning Adjustment determine that, well, is that the good word? That the host residency does not meet section 1.2.2 because even in the applicant's testimony, they have not spent their main percentage of time at this current residence, the property that they own. They themselves said they only slept there 10 nights. And they've owned the property since February. And this is now January of 2024. And the other thing is, I was going to say something else. I forgot. Wait a minute. what else I was going to say? Was something I was going to say. Oh, I'll just say that it is not the primary residence of the host, and they do not spend most of their time at 3229 Grant Avenue. Based on the testimony and testimony and staff analysis we've heard today.
I'll second. Lenhart.
Been properly moved and seconded. We're ready for vote.
Horton,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Leonhardt,
Yes.
Bozos,
Yes.
Bond.
Yes. All right, the BOZA has determined that the host residency does not meet section 1.2.2 of the Land Development Code. Thank you.
So I'll just add, with the same as the other one, we won't revoke the registration until the 30-day appeal period is ended. In this case, because they are the owner of the property, if after they move in, I heard April, they can requalify. And if the board, at this point, we can just agree to another residency hearing, or if you felt comfortable what they indicated, we can just go ahead and potentially issue a new registration then with the documentation. Or did you want another residency hearing when that new application were to be submitted? I'm just trying to get ahead of
Sure,
it
I'll
because I
listen to
feel
the
this is
wishes of the board,
inevitable
but I
in this
would be
case.
comfortable with April just proceeding. It would be a conditional use permit in April.
Yeah. I mean, based on the testimony that I heard, is the dog sitting arrangement would conclude and they would move into the property in a more permanent fashion in April. And they are the owners of the property, so they meet that requirement, and they have the documentation requirement already met in terms of having the license and the proper. So I'm just asking the board if you would be, did you want another residency hearing in advance of that, or did you just want us to go ahead and issue it
I
staff level?
don't necessarily want another residency hearing. I'd like to hear what the other members of the board.
I think, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm finished.
I would think that if they provide the information to the staff, that get whatever the information is that you need to provide, that they provide, that is now their primary residence, we don't need a residence hearing. But how would we know that I don't want a residence hearing if we can help it, if they can provide everything that they need to prove that they live there.
Well, they've already provided that. What the issue was
But they're not spending their time there. That's what I
exactly,
want.
and so all we have is their testimony. So we only, they have the documentation sorted out. So it's really the fact that they haven't been spending any time there, and we're just relying on their testimony that they will be spending time there and then after a few months.
So then after they move in April, they'll have to register again. Okay, and then the registration will be some evidence, right? Because they already own the property, and they'll have to register again the next year. And if they don't, then they'll be back before us again, right? Yeah, right.
Yes, but what with other ones where we reject residency, we tell them that they have to get a residency hearing when they reestablish residency or when they finally go through the process and want to come back before you. In this case, they provided testimony that I felt some board members might agree with, that they will be spending time there. They will be spending there for a few months, and that's why I was just trying to get ahead of it. But we'll just review the application as we will with staff, and we'll work with the board and decide if another residency hearing is needed in the future. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it while it was fresh on your brain. You don't have to make any decisions on that. It's really just for your comments.
Okay, so we'll have an opportunity to revisit whether a residency hearing is required.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I would be comfortable issuing that because this is complaint based, and if there's another complaint, we would have to hear it again.
Well,
anyway,
and it also can be when they provide the information to Joe and staff, they look at it, and if there's something about the application that makes them think they need to bring it back, there's always that option
Right.
too. Or if the documentation, everything looks in order, again, if there's a complaint, we could revisit it at that point.
That's most of the reason why these cases come before us is there's some kind of complaint. So I'm sure if something's awry or if something's amiss, someone will complain and we'll be right back here. So my humble opinion, I would be okay with, staff issuing the license when they reapply, I guess.
I'm in agreement with Vozos based on the staff analysis. There was a notice, and so if whoever did it before will observe again.
Okay. Member Ford? All right.
Action? No. Okay.
I would encourage the Watanabes to work with Jude Mattingly if there are any clarifications that are needed on what we've discussed. Thank you.